Hello, it's Gabby here for you, and I hope this finds you well. This week, I'm going to be talking about the difference between being a survivor or being a thriver. And although my podcast is all about cancer survivorship, I think what I'm going to talk about applies to you, maybe whether you've had a cancer diagnosis or not, because I think as we go through life, as we get older, we all struggle with things. So maybe you've had a cancer diagnosis, or probably, like most people, you've had some other traumatic experiences in your life. And I'm going to talk about what you can do to get through those feelings. What you can do if you are feeling you've been through this experience, whether it's a cancer diagnosis, whether it's something else, and you are absolutely exhausted, and there's a lot of talk in cancer language about winning the battle and about winning the war, and I don't really like that kind of language. But if you think about a soldier coming home from the war, somebody asked me the other day, I think I've got PTSD after my cancer diagnosis, and I think that's quite a common feeling. So this week I'm going to talk about the difference between being a survivor and being a thriver and really enjoying life. And I've got 3 tips for you that I hope you'll find interesting, because they're things that I've learned along the way, things that have worked for me. And so the first one I'm going to talk to you about is really how you move forward from feeling in that hopeless, helpless place of being a survivor, where you really have just got nothing left to give. How do you move forward from that? And one of the best things that you can do is to surround yourself with the right people. And, sometimes people say, oh, I can't really choose my family, but you can choose the amount of time you spend with people. And if you think about the people that you spend time with, I think Tony Robbins said, you're some of the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And he was talking more in a business sense, but it's also true in life. And I found myself, when I'm around negative, moaning Nellies, as I like to call them, people who always look on the dark side of life, it brings my energy down as well. And conversely, when I'm with people who make me laugh, who enjoy life, who love the same things that I do, who enjoy going to live music, who've got a real zest for life, well, some of these people are quite advanced in years, I should say, but they've got a young attitude. They've got an attitude that life is to be enjoyed. Life is to be enjoyed every minute. And of course, we all have our ups and downs. And I'm not saying for 1 minute that you can pretend that life's wonderful when it's not, but we can all surround ourselves with people who lift us up. So that's the first thing I would say. And watch who you're following on social media as well, because I've fallen foul of this before, of getting annoyed with people that I've seen on social media. I do have an interest in politics, and I do want to know what's going on in the world. But I know if I spend too much time looking at, social media debates or discussions about politics or about certain things in the government, for instance, that can be quite draining. So I limit the amount of time I spend looking at stuff like that. And the other thing I think about is how you manage your energy. So the people that are around you can, like I say, influence your energy in a positive or a negative way. But we have choices. We have choices about the people you spend time around. Maybe not so much at work. You may have to work with people that you don't enjoy spending time with, but you can choose your attitude. You can choose whether you allow their negativity to affect you, because that is so draining. And I've been there, and I know what it's like if you work with people like that. It can be tough, but choose who you spend time with, and choose how you let their energy into your life. Just because you're working with somebody who's negative, you don't have to take that on. You can, if you like. I sometimes like to imagine myself in a little bubble when I'm around people like that, thinking, I feel a bit sorry for you. There's no judgment here. I feel sorry for you if you're living your life like that, but I'm not letting your energy into my space. I'm not prepared to accept that into my life at all. The second thing I would say, and I'm talking particularly here to busy women who maybe are used to being the one that fixes everything. If you are in that situation, you might find it quite difficult to ask for help. But I spoke before about how important it is to ask for help and to be quite specific about the help that you need. Some people would just assume, oh, well, my partner should know what I want. But does he or she? Just make it really clear what you want and ask for help. Before it gets to the point where you're getting resentful, ask for help in a calm and controlled way. That's another top tip I would say, that a thriver who is in control of their happiness and their health and is looking forward to a bright future, they know how to ask for help without it turning into a major drama. And the third thing I would say is to just remember you've always got choices. I mean, some of us didn't choose the things that we've been through. Sometimes life can be very cruel and it can throw unexpected things at you, whether it's a cancer diagnosis, whether it's a bereavement, whether it's the loss of a job, whether it's the breakdown of a relationship. All these things you might think, well, I've got no choice over that. But we all have choices in how we respond to that and how we move forward. And there is a bit maybe grieving time that you need if you've been through something like that. And that's part of the, the process of getting over something like that, is to grieve for it. But then you need to think about moving on. And if you're struggling for moving on, a few things that I would say that help me change my mood when sometimes, I'm feeling a bit down or maybe feeling a little bit sorry for myself. One is music. I love to listen to uplifting music. It can be rock music, it can be country music, whatever you like, whatever's your bag. But also the other thing that I love to do is just put some music on and dance around my house, dance in the morning, dance around my kitchen. That always lifts my mood. And getting moving is always a good thing as well, to shift your energy, actually get your body into motion is a wonderful thing to do to change the way you're feeling. The other thing to do is to think about your self-care. And again, I'm working with a lot of busy women in particular who find this, sometimes they're busy, they've got jobs, they've got families, got other commitments, and the self-care sort of slips down the list of priorities. But I'm thinking, if you really want to enjoy your life, if you really want to turn from being a survivor who is just like a rabbit in the headlights and just living in survival mode, into somebody who's really enjoying life, who's getting the most out of it, who's getting the most out of every day, think about your self-care. Because, it's sort of cliche, but it's so true. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You need to fill yourself up first. You need to replenish your energy. You need to think about your happiness and what lights you up. And it could be, some time to yourself. It could be going for a massage. It could be getting yourself moving every day. I've started going for a walk every day in my local park. And I know if I do that, my day always feels so much better when I've made that effort to get out of bed. I don't always want to do it. Sometimes I'd rather think, I'll just turn over and have another 10 minutes in bed. No, I like to get up and get moving. And I know that I've made a really good choice for myself that my future self will thank me for. So the self-care, I would say to you, I'd really impress upon you, is so important. And as I say, as we get busy in life, as we get older, and we've got other commitments, sometimes that gets pushed down your list of priorities, doesn't it? Sometimes. But it's not selfish to love yourself and to take time out for your self-care. If you've got a busy schedule, get out your diary or your phone, or however you plan your time, and plan in some treats for yourself for some self-care, because life shouldn't just be all about commitments and about things that we have to do. It can be time for yourself. It could be just sitting and reading a book, but plan out some time to do that. It could be just sitting and watching a film that you enjoy, or something that's really interesting, or an activity that you enjoy, but get it planned in. If you're anything like me, you're probably thinking, my goodness, it's nearly June already, half the year's gone. Where's it gone? Because time passes us by so quickly. And what are you spending your time doing? And again, I'm not judging you or anybody for what they do. We all got choices. But sometimes we feel like we're on that hamster wheel of life where we've got no choices. But just spend a little time to reflect. If you're listening to my podcast, I'm so grateful for that. But two, I'm hoping that you're somebody who's thinking about maybe making some changes, and maybe something in your life that's not working, and just ask for help is what I've said. So remember, the 3 things I've said is surround yourself with support. If you haven't got supportive friends, family, work colleagues, whatever it is, you can always reach out to me. You can work with a coach. There is help available, but you need to ask for it. And that's my second point, is to remember that you can ask for help at any time. You're never alone, my love. There's a lot of social media campaigns now about it's good to talk. And I think particularly men are not very good at talking about their feelings when they're feeling low. But women can fall into that trap as well, of feeling, I just need to keep going. I need to be the one that fixes everything. No, you don't. You need to ask for help when you need to. And the third thing is to choose your attitude. Make right choices that are going to give you that bright future that you deserve. Whatever you've been through, whether it's a cancer diagnosis, whether it's some other traumatic event in your life, you didn't survive it to be miserable. Life is not here to be endured. It's here to be enjoyed. And I want you to have a happy, healthy life full of love, full of brightness, full of joy. And if I can help you in any way, please reach out to me. As always, I'd say to you, remember to stay safe, as they always tell us, but stay sane. Look after yourself, look after your own mental health. Do something for you today, this week coming forward. Before I speak to you again, planning a little treat for yourself. Let me know what little treat you've planned for yourself, and maybe a big treat. I'm planning for a holiday in Spain, so I'm very excited about that, but I'll still be back on the podcast next week. Thank you so much for listening. It absolutely means the world to me. Stay safe, stay sane. Bye-bye, my love.